Welcome to Everett Barbecue. I'm Joe Everett, and today I'm going to show you how to slow smoke a beef brisket on the Dyna-Glo offset smoker. Yeah, I've got a lot of brisket videos out there, but I don't have the definitive how to smoke brisket on the Dyna-Glo offset smoker. And more specifically, I want to show you guys all the refills, the exact schedule of refilling, how much coal I'm using, when I'm using it. I'm also going to include how I wrap, how long I rest, how long I hold. This way you got a nice tutorial step by step so you can make slow smoked brisket at your domicile. You guys have seen me trim brisket plenty of times, so I'm going to keep this short, sweet, tidy, and neat. I want you to start trimming that fat cap down to 1/4 of an inch. Get rid of those frayed edges and those floppy ends. We don't want hangers, we don't want danglers, and we don't want skinny sides. We're like them thick. Do your best to make sure this thing is sitting relatively flat on the meat side, since that's how we're going to cook it in the Dyna-Glo. Now get rid of that hard fat, lose the silver skin on the meat side, and shape this brisket up like a beefy bubble that's going to boost you up to the BBQ Bonus Board. Now we're going with avocado oil for the binder, and that first layer of flavor is going to be AP rub, tried and true. You know it's big savory to the rescue. Now don't forget to start with your sides and ends, then go to the bottom. That way you can finish on what will be the presentation side. For the second layer, we're going with Texas style rub for the proper pepper proportions on this protein. Flip that brisket, rinse, wash, repeat, and don't forget, if you want to try my rubs at home, you ain't got to wish. Click the description below, get the recipe, and you can put Everett Barbecue on your Christmas list. Okay team, for this brisket cook, we're going with 3 chunks of hickory, 3 chunks of pecan. And I'm putting these pecan chunks in the front 3 corners, 1 chunk of hickory in the back. And I like to go with a combo of Kingsford Blue Bag Briquettes and Royal Oak Lump. And what I'm trying to do is line the bottom of the firebox with a solid layer of Kingsford Briquettes and then put the lump on top. I like going with a combo, namely because the small pieces of lump don't fall through the bottoms of the grates, but I also particularly enjoy the flavor off that Royal Oak. Now you want to be mindful to leave this front corner empty for that chimney full of lit coals that we're about to dump in there. Going on. Time to get this brisket on. Ooh yeah. That is what we're going on with today. Cooking meat side up in the Dyna, that's how I prefer it. Top rack of course, and then I like to use a small little loaf pan in the bottom. I'm gonna fill that up with water, and that's why I got it right next to the firebox, kind of tame old Dyna down a little bit. Well, fare thee well, little feller. I'd also like to add that I prefer to put the meat on as the cooker gets up to temp when I'm smoking. I think the smoke takes on at the lower temps really well, and particularly with large cuts like brisket and pork butt, you may as well just get yourself a jump start, start adding that smoke early, and get down to business, busted. And I'm hoping to update you guys every single time I refill the firebox. I think that's what I get the majority of my questions out. Our target temp's about 250, 275 for this cook, none higher than 275. That's why we got the water in. To start out, I'm leaving the side vents wide open, and when we reach our target temp, I'm gonna pinch those dampers closed and try and maintain. And you're gonna see it unfold as I see it unfold there, Buster. Okay gang, we're about 3 hours in, and now's the perfect opportunity to get in the firebox, give those coals a shake, see what the status is of your coal bed, and if you haven't already done it, now would be the perfect time to assemble your chimney to refill that firebox. All right. You know, we're doing pretty doggone good. But what you want to do is give it a good shake, get rid of some of that ash at the bottom so this fire can eat. I don't know, I think we'll hold off for about 45, maybe another hours. A lot of those pieces of lump are still yet fresh. Okie doke, we are exactly 3 hours deep, and oh, marvelous. I think that's looking fabulous. Look at that, will you gang?
It is looking very choice, but it is prime. But yeah, all this bark is set. I think we're doing just fine. Yeah, that's looking scrumdiddly. We're definitely gonna keep spritzing every 45 minutes to an hour, probably when we refill that coal bed, but judging from a lot of my comments, I think what you're all more interested in is how many times I refill this coal bed, what the refill looks like, and how the process goes. So we're definitely gonna catch all those. One thing you can rest assured, old Mr. Mister, up to the task. Alrighty, we're almost at the 4-hour mark, and now's the perfect time to light that refill chimney. Just want to show you guys what my ideal chimney's looking like. It would seem we're to the brim, but these are just some larger chunks of royal oak, and I'd say I have briquettes just up to these holes right here. Let's check that firebox. Yeah, doing really well. Some large pieces of lumps still lit, and still with some mileage left to go. I know you want to peek at the brisket. Me too. Let's see where we're at. Oh yeah. Of course, you're going to get a little dry up on the point closest to the firebox, but that loaf pan with water is really helping our cause with that. Boy, we're getting some work done up on this here brisket. As you can see, she's pulled in, puffed up, doing what she's supposed to do. All right, check back in about 15-20, do that firebox reload. What? Okay, we're exactly at the 4-hour mark. We're still cruising at 250 degrees on Dyna. Doing very well, but I think preemptively it's time to go ahead and refill that coal bed. We've already lit the coals. Time to kick those tires and light the fires. And yes, these are El Scorchorino. Drain spade sawed off, favorite Dyna-Glo tool. Boy, that's a big old hunk of lump, isn't it? That ought to do. You'd think I'd done that twice. Whew. Okay, that should hold us up for about three and a half hours, and then we'll check the firebox, see how those coals are doing. Maybe spritz that brisket 2 or 3 times. You'll know it how I know it, and see it how I see it, Bubba. Okay, we're 5 hours on the dot. Let's go ahead and take a peek. As you can see, old Dyna's cruising at 250. How she likes it. Ooh, baby. Lift it out here. Really cooking up nice. I believe I'm gonna rotate this and put the point over here. And of course you want some thick gloves for this whole process, and also be very, very careful. This brisket been very good to us, so we gotta be good to it. Yeah. That's how she's doing on the other side of life. Let's go ahead and slide this bad boy in. And that's, again, one of my favorite parts of Dyna, the interchangeable grates. I would advise that you should be very careful if you're pulling out those grates when they're in backwards. There is no safety notch to keep them in place, so they will go on out on you. All right, I know I said I wasn't going to show every last spritz, but might be back in an hour, might not, but we'll definitely show you the next refill, which should be in a couple hours right now. All right, we're staring the 7-hour mark in the face. It's time for that second refill. Kind of the same setup as last refill. All right, y'all know what it is. We're 7 hours in on the nose. We fired up that chimney. It's time for refill number 2. El Scorchorino back on the scene. Like to shake those coals out, wake them up, you know. There we are. All right, pretty little coat bed. Okay, here in a little bit, I'm probably gonna empty out those ashes from the underpan so that fire can breathe a little bit. We're gonna let that brisket smoke in Dyna-Glo for at least 2 more hours before we get to that wrap nap. And while I'm thinking about it, just to address one of my more popular questions, I did not add any other wood chunks outside of the initial fire. I really believe a little bit goes a long way in Dyna. This smoker gets quite a lot of smoke flavor and smoke ring and penetration into the meat. I honestly think 5 to 6 decent sized wood chunks in that initial fire is pretty much all I ever need. All right, team, we're 8 hours in on the nose. It's time for an update and a little checkup on the brisket. She's looking pretty doggone good. I have no clue what the internal temperature is, and I do not care. I want to go at least another hour, and I think that's exactly what Dyna's firebox has in her. And yeah, check out that low pan, doing yeoman's work. I may take a temp, I may not, but I'm definitely checking back in with you when it's time to wrap, and we're wrapping with beef tallow and meat paper. How about it? Here's what we came off with. Loving the looks of that. This is beef tallow that I rendered myself from the beef fat. I'm just gonna sop up the paper so I got myself a nice seal. Hello, hello. How's your father? That shall do, pig. Come here, cop. Alright, I'll get back with you guys once we get this into the 200s, 205, but I'm telling you, it shouldn't take too much time. Alright gang, it's been an hour and a half in the oven at 250, and right now I did decide to probe her. I set the alarm to 203 with the Inkbird. The carryover has taken it to 205. I want to let this parcel cool down to about 170 degrees, and then I'm going to set my oven up at 170 and just hold this thing, I'd say at least 6 hours, maybe even 8. We're probably looking at a breakfast brisket more than like. Ain't she looker? Ain't she a looker? She's a looker and a jiggler. Get a little bit of that over this dude. That's how that midsection is doing. I'd say a pretty good job of rendering all that out. She's a beaut. Oh baby. It is time for some Burnin. Like Parcells said, this is why you lift all them damn weights. I think it's a really good bark. Got set very well. Some may say my rub's a little salty or a little peppery. Well, 9 hours in the smoke and all that tallow over it really mellows it out. Here's how the lean's doing. And as Dyna is wont to do, very first smoke ring, and she dangling just fine. As for the pull test, it's pulling plenty fine. Well, what can I say? Dyna did it again. That brisket was doggone good. Great smoke ring, really nice flavor. The pecan wood, the hickory wood, I think that's the biggest difference. It's up on that brisket. You could smell it in the oven now. And just as a recap, all this is the AP rub, Texas rub, avocado oil binder. We got Dyna going at about 250 to 275 pretty much the entirety of the cook. We burned with pecan and hickory wood chunks, Kingsford blue bag, and royal oak lump charcoal. And again, just to back up some of the questions I usually get, the only wood chunks were in on the initial fire. Nothing else was added. Guys, I had a blast smoking this brisket. It's one of my favorite things to do on the Dyna-Glo. If you've got a Dyna-Glo wide body offset smoker, you owe it to yourself. Do you a brisket like this? Tell me I'm wrong. Hit me up in the comments section. Tell me how you do your brisket on your Dyna-Glo. I'd love to know. Thank you so much for putting up with me and this video. If you want more like it or other cooks from my channel, ring that bell. Click subscribe. Join my tribe, jump in the backyard, hang with my gang, and you could get to cooking with us. That is one of the better briskets I think I've made on Dyna. Yeah, she put a mean smoke up on that brisket. Dyna? Damn. Oh, someone snuck an acreage in there? Could you imagine? I mean, look at them big old hunks. That's what happens when you go to Walmart to get the 30-pound bag, son.